What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We appreciate you being here. Today, Riley and I are going to walk you through the new trader blueprint to profitable trading. This video is inspired by an article from our friend Steve Burns at New Trader University. I'll make sure to link to Steve's Twitter, to his blog, and to all other important resources that Steve provides, his Amazon store with his books and all that stuff. All those links will be in the description, so you guys can check that out. And I want to thank Steve for putting out content as much as he does to the trading community, because I was just saying to Riley before we started this, if I would have seen something like this when I started trading, now this is posted January 24th, 2021. I started trading in like 2015. If I would have seen something like this, it would have made a big difference for me. And that's why I want to share it with you guys. I think you'll be able to not only relate to it, but also pull some value from it. So Rye, I appreciate you being here and doing this with me. I think you'll be a good sounding board to this. And I think that people, our audience, look to you to provide, I guess the best way to put it from the comments is like to kind of keep me in line and to call me on my shit is really what I'm seeing.
Slow you down a little.
But also to dumb down some of the things that I overlook that people might also overlook because I'm not explaining them well. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm hoping that everybody who's listening will find some value. So let's get into it. The first thing that Steve says as the number one thing you need to do on this blueprint towards profitable trading is to educate yourself on the basics of trading your market through reading online articles, books, videos, e-courses, and to master the vocabulary of that market. What does that make you think of first when you hear that?
Education.
Always. That's like the foundation of anything when you go into a new endeavor.
Because education just expands your awareness of that subject. Like imagine if you were trying to build a house and you didn't ever look up a video of how to build a house. Like where would you start?
What's your favorite way to learn out of all of those articles, books, videos, courses?
Of that list, I'd have to probably pick books. However, overall, how I like to learn is pure observation. I like to be hands-on with the experience and not necessarily learning. When I say that, I don't mean that I have to be the one doing it first and like learning from that way. I mean, let me watch somebody else do it and I learn from observation.
So videos.
Yeah, but no, because that's behind a computer screen.
But also look at the way that you learned the basics of our systems that you know already. I didn't teach it to you by sitting next to you. I taught it to you by...
Yes, you did.
But also the video courses. You've watched the video courses.
Yeah, but you taught me it before the courses were even made because I sat next to you and watched you morning after morning after morning and would piece the questions together as I had them.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's true.
We don't need to linger on that.
No, but it's actually funny you say books because his second point is to read the best trading books of all time.
Well, yes. Before we go into the second point, though, one thing that I did want to mention that I think is really important, like the way that you just asked me, in what way do I best learn? Sit with yourself and figure out how you actually do best learn. Not only the way that you like to perceive information, but a way that you actually like to perceive information and actually retain it. Figure out what that is so that you can then do more of that and it won't be as frustrating of a process.
Like for number 2, with reading the best books of all time, reading is not my thing. So I'll adapt that into audiobooks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I learn better that way than I do reading. It's hard for me to retain the things that I read unless I read them multiple times. So if you're like me, audio is a good way to kind of cover your bases, but still get that foundational step in the blueprint here. Tip number 3, I kind of think sums up tip number 1 and 2. It's study the greatest traders of all time. Mm-hmm. He put it in here and he linked it to another article that he has where he talks about the greatest traders of all time. I think in anything, even look at you going down like your yoga journey, like you study these older books. These aren't books that were written last year. You study the greats in any industry. Whenever you want to master something, you don't just think that you're going to be gifted the knowledge by the spirits in the heavens. You study the people that figured it out already.
And along with that, it's like you observe what it is that they did and you learn from the things that they did. But this most recent book that I just read, Stephen Cope, he says, seek what they sought. These people that are, so in this instance, traders, like what is it that they're seeking? And look for that and figure out how you can apply the mistakes and the things that they've...
See, I interpret that differently. When you say traders, what are they seeking? I'm like, what do you mean? Seek what they sought, I think means look at the greatest people in the business of all time already and think about what were they trying to figure out.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. I didn't take it that way. Sorry.
Yeah. That's the way, what I mean is exactly that.
Got it. Okay.
Seek what they sought.
Yes. Seek the information that they first went to go look for.
Right.
Yes.
And even take it a step deeper than that is the why are they looking
Wait, does
for it?
sought mean like seek what they put down, or sought meaning like what they sought after, what they were looking for?
What they were looking for.
That's what I thought. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then I wasn't misunderstanding. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Good. I like this. Tip number 4, research the history of price action in the market you want to trade. Understand the uptrends, the downtrends, the price ranges, and the volatility cycles. This can be achieved through, do you know what I'm going to say?
Backtesting?
Yep. And what else?
Forward testing?
Yeah, chart studies and the study of price action in
Demo
relation
testing?
to other technical indicators. So yeah, you got it. Backtesting. So backtesting can teach you what the history of price action is showing you.
Yeah.
Backtesting can make that like a tangible thing
Because
that you can
now
act
it's
on.
like, okay, you might have been studying, you might have been reading books, taking courses, whatever it is, but all that information is kind of more so up here. The backtesting brings it from up here and puts it into reality. It's like,
Yeah.
let's put this on paper now. Let's put our money where our mouth is and see these things start to form together.
And I like that you said forward testing too, because I think like when people join ASFX too, I want them to not go backwards and just study what they just learned, like take what we teach in the courses and go do your own markups. I don't want them to do that. I mean, I do, but not just that. I want them to also forward test and be doing it actively, like part of your daily routine. Like if I'm going to sit down and do markups every day, so should they. So should everyone in our community. I'm no different than anybody. I'm still sharpening my edge every day, so should they.
It's just broadening your awareness of your overall understanding that you
learn
already
more.
have. It's just building on top of it.
It leads us into tip number 5, which is that you must find your own edge in trading in that market. And I feel like you can't find your own edge unless you first have a system. And then with the system, if you do back testing, then you can say, oh, this is what I do really well within that system. Like I would consider ASFX this whole umbrella of trading knowledge, like the way that we read the chart with the indicators that we use and stuff like that for Forex. In that system, you could have 3 trigger signals, the A1, the D1, and the D2, like we do. You can click the link in the description to find out more info about the courses if you want. But even with those 3 signals, you might do one better than the other 2, and that would be your edge within it. You know what I'm saying? Does anything stand out to you when you think about like what it means to find your edge from the traders that you've talked to or watching me over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I feel like I would take it a little bit simpler, but also in a way deeper than just which signal do you trade best and having that be your edge. Almost kind of like within the signals, even like time of day, you know, what session are you trading?
Yep.
That is a piece of it.
There's
That's
a lot of
part of your
characteristics
edge.
to your edge.
Yeah, the ritual that you do before you come to the desk is a part of your
And
edge.
after.
Yeah,
Because I was going to say,
after.
I thought
And-
you would have said what stands out is that I'm still doing back testing, that I still do the work every day at the end of the day. And
But see, that doesn't stand out to me because that's like expected. Like you
Right,
should be doing that.
But that I think
yes,
is part of like refining your edge and keeping it sharp.
completely.
Yeah.
But it's so many little nuances. Even like how do you best exit a trade comfortably with your emotions while also managing your profits in the right way according to your plan? Like there's an edge within that. How do you enter the trades? What size do you put on the trades?
Listen,
like
I don't want to cut you off, but that leads into tip number 6, which is
there we go.
learn to develop your own system that'll lead you to the edge. The system must be catered to your own psychology, your own belief system, your own risk tolerance, and your own return goals. This is a trading process with a watch list and position sizing parameters with entry and exit signals. Steve says the same things that I say, just in different words, and not even that different of words.
Yeah.
So for me, the biggest thing in this one that I'm really learning about is how I do have winning systems. We can backtest them. Like go watch the other video even recently with Jerome. He shows the statistics over 200 trades of what the A1 system would do for you, okay? We know that that is there, but just because that's there doesn't mean that you would trade it profitably. Just because that is there doesn't mean someone watching this would be able to execute it profitably. It has to align with their belief system.
Absolutely.
And like let's say you're super contrarian and you believe certain things about the market. I mean, it's everything, your belief system. If you even understand what your belief system is the first step. Like what do you actually believe about the market? Because that will feed into...
And how did those beliefs form?
Right, exactly. So breaking that down, and I'm listening to Van Tharp's book, Trading Within the Matrix or Trading in the Matrix, and he talks about that, like actually identifying your belief system so you can associate with strategies that align with that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think that'll help me coach people better. Because even if people want to be successful in trading, I might not be the best coach for them. And I've always known that. But I think by understanding that it's because of our misaligned beliefs, that is why I'm not always the best coach for somebody.
And I feel like a big differentiator that people look over is, are your beliefs, like, do they tend to be more short-term or long-term?
Yeah.
Because just that question alone sends you down to totally different paths of trading.
Yep.
Like completely. And you have, like, if you naturally are having short-term beliefs, but you're trying to be a long-term trader, you need to be aware of the two because it's not going to work.
And some people
Like,
aren't. So you have
right.
to really assess your own belief system.
Absolutely.
We'll probably need a video about that.
Get to know your mind.
Let's go to number 7. He says that your trading system has to be structured in the context of risk management with diversification to manage correlations, maximum risk exposures, manage stop losses, and trailing stop losses. So what he's saying is all of that needs to be detailed in your trading plan. And he says good risk management eliminates the risk of ruin and the probabilities of having, huge drawdowns. So specifically, like I have the grading system. A setups, B setups, and C setups. A setups get a specific size. B setups get a specific size.
And right along with that is an exit system of how you exit each size.
If it's working for me, I know at 2R I'm taking off some. At 3R I'm taking off some. I know I'm moving my stop loss. And if it's not working, I know what it's breaking the 8 EMA. It's breaking the 21. I know how to get myself out of that. And I think what the big thing is, it's all written down. It's systematized. It's something that you can refer back to when you're feeling emotional in the moment of the trading. You can refer back to these rules.
If you're religious, it's like your Bible or whatever sacred text you look to.
It's funny you say that. Wait, number 8.
I just keep saying his next one, and I did not even look at this article before this video. But
you said religion, and number 8 is developing faith in your system. Religion, faith, developing faith in your system through backtesting it in all types of historical market conditions. So for me, I would just say backtesting across a lot of different currency pairs, seeing it work in different markets, test against commodities, test it everywhere, and see how it performs.
Because that just forms belief within yourself, which will form a confidence and kind of eliminate the emotions.
Exactly. Tip number 9, develop faith in yourself to follow the system with discipline. You're just stealing Steve's points here, and I didn't even show you this before.
No,
but
maybe I should start writing our blogs.
Maybe you should start writing our blogs. It's funny. It's funny because Riley writes the blogs, most of them, and Rebecca.
Yeah, but I haven't written one in a while.
Oh, I thought you do.
Well,
you post them.
Yeah.
Rebecca writes them.
She writes them. I revise and post.
Yeah. Shout out to Rebecca.
Yeah, she's great. Thanks, Rebecca.
Sucks she got another job, so now she can't give us as much time because she was really good at it. And it's hard to find people that write in English and they understand what I'm trying to do. Like, it's so difficult to find good people. God. Tip number 9, develop faith in yourself and follow your system with discipline. Before we get into these last 3, 10, 11, and 12, I want to plug Surfshark really quickly. They are the sponsor of today's video. They've been sponsoring a lot of the content that I've been putting out lately. And I think it's just a great product, a great company for everyone that follows us to be using. We use it on our iPad, on our phones, on our desktops, and on our laptops. What they do basically is protect your data when you're on public Wi-Fi. So if you go out to Starbucks, if you go to the gym and you're connecting to Wi-Fi, and you're going to airports and you're going and you're traveling like we do, and you're doing all this stuff, your data is exposed. Yeah. So I'm going to put a link in the description and I'll flash it on the screen right here. You get 83% off and your first 3 months free. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. And I think that if you just try the product, it runs so seamlessly in the background and it's so cheap to sign up for like 2 years of it, you're going to it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And if you're trading, like, you need to be protecting your data.
Absolutely.
No question.
And the fun little perk is if you like to watch Netflix, but, especially the show Friends, it's not available anymore. Or The Office. They took The Office off too. Mm-hmm. Well, I never watched that. But you can change your location of your VPN so that you actually have access to these shows again.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yep. All right, good. Last 3. Number 10, having the perseverance to stick to the system and let it play out over the long term.
Ooh, discipline.
Well, yeah, because I think, and I'm glad that he put this in here because I was worried that he wasn't going to, because it's like, you could have the system, you could have the rules, you could have all of these things, you could have read the books, listened to the audios, but if you yourself are not the kind of person that can wake up and stay disciplined to control risk, to not let greed come in, to not let FOMO come in, to control all these emotions, if you can do that, then you might be one of those people that can be a successful trader. Yeah. But if you can't do that, then you're going to be in the group of people that try and fail. So I think it's really assessing almost like yourself. Like, I've had to have a lot of hard conversations with myself. Like, how bad do you really want it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I think of.
And your discipline, I feel like, only even got stronger once I came into the picture because it gave you more of a reason to be disciplined for us, for our future, for everything.
Well, it's like accountability. Like, you can't go around blowing accounts when you've got somebody else I treat it like it's our money, so I can't be blowing accounts with your money. Like, you'll be like, yo, where's the money? I'll be like, well, I put 60 standards on.
I picture me hanging you like by the door from your underpants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You put how many standards on that trade, motherfucker?
You did what?
Right. All right, number 11 is make adjustments to the system that are validated in order to improve it. So, like, if you're doing back testing and you're doing forward testing and you're staying up on it, you'll find other patterns. Like the A1 led to the D1 and the D2 for us. You know what I mean?
And I think that without being said within that tip as well is just the ability to be adaptable, because the market's consistently changing. Just because your system works and has worked for the past 5 years doesn't mean that without revision it's going to continue to work for the next 5 years. The market changes, things ebb and flow, and you have to...
It's okay. It's my camera. Keep talking.
Sorry, it kind of threw me off a bit. Yeah, you have to just be adaptable to change. And by doing all of these tips... You can't really see us, but whatever. By listening to all of the prior tips that we talked about and implementing them day in and day out, you'll be able to see when a true change and adjustment needs to be made within your plan.
For our final tip, I apologize about the camera, everybody. It overheats. Like, it's a nice $1,000 camera, and it shouldn't be doing that, but it does. Maybe because I have these lights on it. Comment below. Let me know. Is it that hot?
No.
It's such a piece of shit. Tip number 12. Never quit learning and growing as a trader. Like, I never quit learning and growing to make these videos as best I can, because video stuff is not my forte. Like, if I could just trade, that'd be great.
It ties it all together. Do your best.
Do your best. Remember from the 4 agreements, do your best. So yeah, these 12 tips are really good. And again, I'm going to link to the article here below in the description, or if you're listening to this, it'll be linked in the info of the show notes of this video. There's links in Steve's article that lead to his other articles. So I would recommend going to the page, clicking on some of these and reading them. They're short reads. Steve always makes it easy to consume. That's why I love his work. So check it out. I know you guys will find value in it. Make sure you also check out Surfshark. I don't want to forget to remind you, sign up, take advantage of the 83% off. Do we have a secret word to end our video, Riley?
Yeah, the secret word is actually going to be an answer to a question. Comment down below one thing that you're going to commit to improve your trading process.
One thing in the next what? Quarter 2, because we're almost done quarter 1. We'll say quarter 2. What are you focused on in the next 3, right? A quarter is 3 months. Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't putting a timeline to it. Just something that
I'm
you're,
giving it the
because
timeline.
It shouldn't end really. Like you.
No, but take it quarter at a time. If you focus on one thing, like if you listen to Kobe Bryant, you know how he got so good? He sucked at basketball, but he was like, 1 year, I just focused on dribbling with my right hand. The next year, I got really good with my left hand.
Yeah.
And he just pieced the whole thing together. Worked on the shot from over here. Worked on the shot from over here. So I like timelines, you know? Quarter 1, what did you focus on? Quarter 2, comment below and tell us what you're focused on, because we're curious. Cool. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the future videos, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.